Thank you, Mr. President. Algeria's decision to abstain on today's resolution comes in line with its principled positions, including its abstention on resolutions 2722, 2739, and 2768. This abstention must not be interpreted as a reservation on the monthly reports submitted by the Secretary General on the situation in the Red Sea. It should not also be interpreted as an acceptance or justification of the attacks targeting commercial vessels or cargo carriers. We reiterate the importance of these reports. We firmly believe and uphold regional and maritime safety, the freedom of maritime movement and that of the seafarers. We strongly condemn the attacks in the Red Sea. However, our abstention is a reflection of our deep concern over the implementation of Resolution 2722, especially what we have observed of misinterpretation or misuse of the principle of self-defense. And regrettably, we've seen how this resolution has been used without due cause or unjustly to justify attacks on the territory of sovereign states. Mr. President, we believe that the respect of international law is a duty on all parties. It's not acceptable that the measures undertaken under the slogan of freedom of maritime movement would lead to the violation of state sovereignty. At the same time, we stress the need to ensure accuracy and objectivity. We regret that there has been no clear reference in Resolution 2722 to the catastrophic situation in Gaza. This is a core reason, or at least one of the catalytic factors that lead to current tensions in the Red Sea and the region at large. In this vein, we must stress the pressing need to ensure an immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza. We have to allow the influx of humanitarian assistance to the people of the Gaza Strip while lifting the unjust siege imposed on it. The Security Council cannot disregard the clear nexus between the attacks in the Red Sea and the aggression against the Palestinian people in Gaza, and the deep feelings that resulted from the brutal massacres committed against innocent civilians. To conclude, we continue urging all parties to exercise the highest level of self-restraint and engage in dialogue to avoid further violence and ensure regional stability. This would also safeguard the Yemeni people and the region at large from further suffering. A Yemeni-owned and led peace process based on the agreed-upon political settlement frameworks has become more pressing today to ensure a durable and comprehensive peace in the region. Thank you.
Thank the representative of Algeria for the statement, and would now like to give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Russian Federation abstained on the draft resolution prepared by our Greek and American colleagues, that is, the draft UN Security Council resolution on the situation in the Red Sea. This document is a direct continuation of that infamous resolution, UNSCR 2722, which caused and continues to cause serious concerns on our side, especially as regards respect for international law. The initial intentions of that resolution are good, without a doubt, ensuring freedom of navigation in the waters around Yemen, including the Red Sea. Yet the practical implementation thereof leaves much to be desired. Some of the language in the document gave a lot of room for arbitrary interpretations, which already resulted in attempts to use the resolution as justification for the use of force affecting the territory of the sovereign state of Yemen. Therefore, we underscore that it's unacceptable to misinterpret Security Council decisions in such a way so as to justify unilateral military ventures. We stand convinced that any steps aimed at stabilizing the situation in Yemen and around Yemen should be taken exclusively in political and diplomatic ways. Mr. President, it's difficult to deny the link between the normalization of the situation in the Red Sea and the ongoing overall instability in the region, especially around the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. To resolve this issue, certain steps must be taken, and we all know what they are. Immediate, unconditional, and permanent ceasefire, the release of all hostages and detainees, a restoration of a fully fledged, unimpeded humanitarian access to the Gaza Strip. Unless we revitalize the situation in the Middle East as a whole, any attempts at local stabilization will only have a limited effect. It is only a holistic approach which takes into consideration the whole specter of interrelated threats and challenges. Only such an approach can put this long-suffering region on a trajectory towards robust peace and stability. I thank you.
Thank the representative of the Russian Federation for the statement, and will now give the floor to the representative of China.
President, based on the current situation in the Red Sea and Yemen, and in line with China's consistent position, China abstained from the vote on the draft resolution that was just voted on. I would like to make an EOV on China's position. First, tensions in the Red Sea have re-escalated recently. A new round of hostilities erupted between Israel and the Houthis. And the Houthis have once again attacked commercial vessels in the Red Sea, resulting in casualties. China is deeply concerned about this. At present, the situation in the Red Sea and Yemen is fragile and tense, and all relevant parties should stay calm, exercise restraint, and avoid taking actions that can trigger further escalations. We call on the Houthis to respect the navigational rights and interests of commercial vessels of all countries in the waters of the Red Sea in accordance with international law, and stop attacking commercial vessels so as to safeguard the safety and security of shipping lanes in the waters of the Red Sea. Second, China abstained from voting on Resolution 2722 regarding the situation in the Red Sea and related extensions. Following the adoption of that resolution, certain countries took military actions against Yemen, which seriously impacted the Yemeni peace process and exacerbated tensions in the Red Sea. Their negative effects continue till today. Let me emphasize that Security Council resolution should not be misinterpreted or abused, and the sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity of Yemen should be respected. Third, tensions in the Red Sea is a major manifestation of the spillover from the Gaza conflict. The resolution of the Red Sea and Yemen issues cannot be achieved without easing tensions and de-escalation in the overall regional situation in the Red Sea. The international community must summon a greater sense of urgency and work to promote an immediate and lasting ceasefire in Gaza and fully restore humanitarian access. China will work with all parties for positive results to be achieved at the high-level meeting on the two-state solution scheduled for the end of this month. Thank you, President.
I thank the representative of China for the statement. I shall now make a statement in my capacity as the representative of Pakistan. We have voted in favor of Resolution 2787, reaffirming our principled stance on upholding maritime security and denouncing attacks on all commercial shipping. In line with Pakistan's long-standing position, we strongly condemn the recent attacks on commercial ships in the Red Sea and the tragic loss of innocent civilian lives. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims and call for immediate and unconditional release of all crew members currently being held. Given the current context, the extension of the reporting mandate remains an important step. We also underscore the strategic importance of the Red Sea Maritime Corridor, not only as a lifeline for global trade, but also as a key conduit for humanitarian assistance for Yemen. All attacks on commercial and merchant vessels navigating the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden must cease immediately and permanently in full respect of international law. We would also like to emphasize that the international community's response to this situation must also conform fully with international law. At the same time, it is imperative to address the underlying root causes of regional instability and to actively support diplomatic efforts towards de-escalation. Preventing further regional spillover of the conflict and its destabilizing consequences is essential, not only to curb attacks on commercial shipping, but also to safeguard broader regional peace and security.